This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenna. I love to crochet plushies. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. For today's video, I am going to teach you guys how to make a very cute no-sew ghost plushie. It is perfect because Halloween is right around the corner, spooky season is in full swing, and who doesn't love a nice no-sew pattern? To give some backstory, I originally created this pattern over a year ago, and it did have some sewing to it. I originally had the two arms being sewn on, but since then I have modified it. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys the no-sew option. I'm also super excited to announce that I've teamed up with Hobbii once again, and will be using Hobbii yarn throughout this tutorial. Specifically, I am going to be using Hobbii's Baby Snuggle Yarn, and upon first glance, this yarn is so fluffy, so soft. It's called Baby Snuggle for a reason because literally it is so soft. I have never used Baby Snuggle before, but I see it like all over Instagram, so I was like, I need to try it. Before we jump into the video, I just wanted to preface and say that this pattern is beginner friendly, but you do need to know certain stitches to be able to complete this pattern. I won't necessarily do a deep dive into how to do these stitches, but I will be showing you guys step by step. So if at any time I go too fast, you can adjust the speed here on the YouTube player, and you can slow it down to your liking if you want to see me physically do the stitches slower. And then if you don't know how to do the stitches in general, there are so many great video tutorials here on YouTube, so I'll make sure to link down below some helpful tutorials for those stitches. But alright, for this pattern, you will need to know how to crochet in the front loops only, the back loops only. You'll need to know how to do a magic ring, increases, decreases. You'll also need to know how to do a half double crochet, a double crochet, and a bobble stitch. Okay, so now for materials. You will need at least one skein of white. Of course, these being ghosts, I do suggest using white, but you can honestly use whatever color you'd like. I am personally going to be using Baby Snuggle here, and this is the color number 01. So if you shop on Hobbii's website and you need to know the color code, it is color code 01. And then also, I suggest if you want to add blush to your ghost, which I usually always do, I would go ahead and grab some pink yarn. It could be scrap yarn, but what I have on hand is this Baby Snuggle pink yarn in the color 03. And you do not need a lot of pink yarn, by the way. I'd say 2 6-inch strands will be sufficient. And now that I'm thinking about it, white yarn is kind of hard to see when working on camera. So to make this tutorial easier for you to follow, I am actually going to be making my ghost out of this Sweet Snuggles like pumpkin color, and this is color code 25. And yeah, I thought it would be cute to try and make a different colored ghostie. I've always like only made white, so let's give a little pumpkin ghostie a try. All right, and in terms of other material that you will need some polyfill, you will need scissors, a 5mm hook, some tapestry needles, stitch markers, and then two 12mm safety eyes. Before we jump into more ghost making, I just want to take a quick second and say thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. Squarespace has so many beautiful professional website templates that makes building your own website super easy. I personally don't have any coding background, so I love that Squarespace has the drag and drop website builder function, so it really makes it easy to customize my website. Another feature that Squarespace offers that is integral to my business is the ability to have an online shop. You can sell both digital and physical products, which is really important to me because I sell patterns and also physical plushies. And then lastly, if you're planning on selling in person, such as markets or pop-ups, you can get a Square Reader, and that will allow you to take sales in person and then also have your inventory update in real time and sync across your online shop. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/crochetbyjenna to receive 10% off your first order of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back into it. All right, let's get started with this tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and open up this skein. All right, for round 1, we will be doing 6 single crochet into a magic ring. And then go ahead and grab a stitch marker. And I like to put my stitch marker in the last stitch of each round so we can keep track. And then go ahead and close your magic ring. All right. And then just a reminder, if I go too fast for you at any point in this tutorial, you can go ahead and adjust the speed of the video down in the YouTube player, and then vice versa. If I'm going too slow, feel free to skip ahead or play the video at 2 times or 3 times the speed. But all right, now going into round 2, we are going to be doing an increase into each of the stitches. So we're gonna be increasing a total of 6 times. 6 increase. And that is the end of round 2. For round 3, we are going to be doing 1 single crochet followed by an increase. And we are going to repeat this 5 more times. This is what the end of round 3 looks like. For round 4, we are going to be doing 2 single crochet followed by an increase. And we're going to be repeating that sequence 5 more times. All right, and that is the end of round 4. For round 5, we are going to be doing 3 single crochet followed by an increase. And then we're going to repeat that sequence 5 more times. So this is what it will look like at the end of round 5. So for the next 5 rounds, which is rounds 6 through 10, we are going to be doing 30 single crochet a round. All right, I just finished round 6. Off camera, I will complete the rest of the rounds until I'm done round 10, and I will meet you guys back here for round 11. All right, I just got done round 10, and this is how my ghost is looking. It is looking pretty good. This is like the head, and now we are going to go into round 11 where we will do the arms. So for round 11, we start by doing 7 single crochet. And now we are going to make the first arm, and we are going to be doing that by using bobble stitches. So I like to do a double crochet bobble, which will require us to put 4 double crochet into 1 stitch. So let me walk you guys through that. So I'm going to first yarn over. I'm going to go into this next stitch and pull the loop through. I now have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. So now I'm back to 2 loops on my hook, and I'm going to repeat that again. So yarn over, go into that same stitch, pull the loop through. I have 4 loops on my hook now. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. So now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to repeat this again. I'm going to yarn over, go through that same stitch, pull the loop through, and now I'm going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 stitches. So now I have 4 loops on my hook, and we're going to be doing this 1 more time for a total of 4 times. So yarn over, go through that same stitch, pull the loop through. I now have 6 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops only. So now I have a total of 5 loops on my hook. And now we're good to yarn over 1 last time and pull through all 5 loops of my hook. And as you can see, we created the little bobble, which is right there. And now we are going to do 13 single crochets. So after you get done the bobble stitch, be careful because sometimes this next stitch is a little hard to notice because of all the stitches you have under this one. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do 13 single crochet. And as I pull that first single crochet tight, you can see the little bobble stitch, it protrudes a little. Sometimes you have to push it out with your finger so it fully comes out. But all right, that is 1. 13. All right, and now we are going to do another bobble stitch to make the second arm. So again, I'm gonna yarn over, go into that next stitch, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, and then yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. I have 5 loops now on my hook, yarn over and pull through all of them. And then we're gonna finish out the round by doing 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there you go. This is the end of round 11. And as you can see, we have the cute little arms on both sides now, and it's starting to look like a little ghosty. All right, for rounds 12 through 15, we are just going to be doing 30 single crochet a round. Careful when you get to the bobble stitch, make sure you are crocheting directly into the top of the bobble so you don't miscount. All right, I just got done round 12. I'm going to do the rest of the rounds off camera, and I will meet you guys back here when I finish round 15. All right, so I just finished round 15, and this is what our ghost is looking like. It's so funny seeing this ghost in orange because I've only ever made ghosts using white yarn, but I definitely think it's better that I used orange for you guys so you can clearly see the stitches. But okay, for round 16, we are now going to start decreasing. So we're going to do 3 single crochet, followed by a decrease. And I like to do the invisible decrease, so I'm only working in the front loops when I decrease. And then we're gonna repeat that sequence 5 more times. All right, that brings us to the end of round 16. And then before we start the next round, I am going to go ahead and grab my second stitch marker, and I am going to be putting it in the back loop of this first stitch of the next round. I am doing this because we will be coming back to it later on, and I want to be able to easily identify it. So again, this is the first stitch of the next round, round 17, and I am just going ahead and placing a stitch marker in the back loop of that first stitch so we can come back to it later. But okay, so now before we start round 17, we are going to go ahead and place our eyes. So I usually like to make the back of the ghost where our stitch marker is, so where the rounds begin and end. So I like to put that in the back, and then the front of our ghost will be nice and clean, and it'll look like this. So go ahead and grab 2 12mm safety eyes. And I like to place the eyes between rounds 8 and 9, and I like to place them around 6 stitches apart. So let's go ahead and look at the top of our ghost. This is the magic ring, which is round 1. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so here's round 8, here's 9. Let me go ahead and put this eye in here just so I don't lose count of the rounds, and we can go ahead and adjust it later. But for right now, it actually looks pretty good. I usually like to find the bobble, which is one of our arms, and I like to place the eye around 2 stitches out. So let me see, 1 stitch, 2 stitch. So it looks like our eye is doing pretty well, and it is aligned right there how I like it because it's only 2 stitches out. So if we follow this eye and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, You can try and place the second eye in here. And then let's see. And then you can like eyeball it and see if it like looks symmetrical. Just from looking at this, it looks like this one needs to move over one little stitch. So go ahead and then we can do a check. Here's the bobble, 1, 2. So it looks like they're both 2 stitches in. And then let me just try and flatten it a little. Yeah, this looks good. This looks even to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and then secure the eyes with the little plastic backings. Go ahead and secure it. So, all right, so now this is what our ghost looks like. Super cute. And then as an optional little step, I like to add some blush under the eyes. So go ahead and grab your scrap pink yarn. I am just gonna grab this skein of pink baby snuggles, and I'm gonna go ahead and open it. And really, you do not need a lot of yarn to add the blush. I'd say like 2 6-inch strands would be enough. So I just kind of eyeball it. I'm like, okay, this is good. So let me go ahead and take my scissors. I'm gonna cut it. Honestly, it's better to have longer strands than shorter because, you know, you just cut off the excess in the end. But I went ahead and cut these 2 strands. I'd say they're around like 6 inches long. So now I'm gonna grab my needle. I'm gonna thread one of the pink strands into my needle, and I'm just gonna go right here, and I'm gonna go right under where the eye is and go through, it looks like around 2 stitches. Pull the thread through, and then I'm going to, some fuzz, and then I'm going to repeat that same thing. I'm gonna go into that original stitch and pull the blush through. And how I like to do my blush, I like to double strand it, so I'm just gonna repeat it one more time. And pull it through. You can pull it tight. All right, cute. You can always reposition your blush or redo it if it's not to your liking, but then I just go ahead, flip it inside out, and I pull that excess strand through, and then I'm just gonna tie a knot to make sure it's secure. And let's see what our blush looks like. Very cute. I'm just gonna poke in some of the excess fluff. And yeah, there's one, and I'm just gonna repeat that on the other side now. You can also add like a smiley face if you want to your ghost. I personally don't like adding faces to my plushies. It's just my style. I just like the eyes and some blush. But if you want to add a smile, by all means, go ahead. You can just take some black yarn and put it right in the middle there. All right. And this is what our ghost is looking like now. It is so adorable. I love the 2 little arms, and it is looking really cute. So, okay, I think we're good to go on to round 17 now. So for round 17, we are going to be working in the front loops only. So if you take a look here, you see how we have the V's to represent each of our stitches. The part of the V that is closest to you is the front loop, and the part of the V that is furthest from you is the back loop. So we're going to be working in the front loops only, and we are going to be repeating the same sequence all the way around. So in the first stitch, we are going to be doing a half double crochet into the front loop, followed by a double crochet into that same front loop of the first stitch. And then we're going to do another double crochet, and then one more. So in this first stitch in the front loop only, we are doing a half double crochet and 3 double crochet, all in the same first stitch. And then in the next stitch, we are going to slip stitch, again working in the front loop only. And then we're going to skip this next stitch. And that is the sequence we will be repeating. So we are going to be doing this a total of 8 times. Since we already did this first one, we are going to be repeating the sequence 7 more times on camera. So since we skipped this stitch, we're going to now go into the front loop of this stitch, and we're going to do the half double crochet, followed by the 3 double crochet, all into that same stitch. And now I'm gonna slip stitch into the next and skip this next stitch. So then I'm gonna repeat. All right, I'm on my last flap here. I just got done the half and double crochets. So I'm going to slip stitch into this next stitch. And then we're left with our last stitch. And technically we should skip this stitch, but since it's the last stitch of the round, I am just going to single crochet into it. And then go ahead and put my stitch marker. So this is what the end of round 17 looks like. As you can see, the little flaps make the ghost kind of look frilly at the bottom like ghosts typically do. And it is just so cute, guys. I am obsessed. I kind of want to like add a little pumpkin stem and make this like a little pumpkin ghost, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But all right, before we head on to the next round, let's stop and start stuffing our ghost. Go ahead and grab some polyfill, and I am just going to simply stuff the top of the head, and you can start shaping it the way you want. Don't stuff it too much because in the next round, we're going to be working in the back loops and we don't want the stuffing to get in the way. So I'm just going to add a little bit more, and I think that is good. As you can see, my ghost is really holding its shape now with the stuffing, and it is looking so cute. Okay, so now let's go on to round 18. Round 18, we are going to be working in the back loops only, since in the previous round, we worked in the front loops only. So going back to the stitch marker that we placed a little bit ago, we know that this symbolizes the first stitch of this round. So it's very helpful that we left the stitch marker here for us to utilize later. But okay, for round 18, we are going to be doing 2 single crochet followed by a decrease, and we're going to be repeating that 6 times. So let me go ahead and single crochet into the first stitch back here. And then I'm going to take the stitch marker off because we're good now. It is a little hard to find the back loops. It is a little tricky, especially if you're a beginner. But what I like to do is really just like feel my hook around, and you'll be able to find it if you start poking around. And you can kind of see it on screen here. This will be the next back loop that we'll be working on. So I'm going to do a single crochet into that. So that's 2. All right, and now we are going to decrease. So hopefully you guys can see on your end here are the next 2 loops. So I'm going to go ahead and decrease. And I'm going to repeat this again 5 more times. All right, and that was my last stitch of the round. So this is what your ghost is looking like at the end of round 18. It is so cute, guys. I love that you can choose to put the frill like down like this, or you can put the frill up. I really love how it looks. But okay, we are almost done. I'm gonna say let's stop here and stuff it a little more. In the next round, we will be working in both loops again, so we don't have to worry about the stuffing getting in the way. Okay, this is looking good. So let's go ahead and go on with round 19. Okay, for round 19, like I said, we are going to be working in both loops again, and we are going to be doing a single crochet followed by a decrease, and we're going to repeat this 5 more times. All right, and then we're almost done, guys. This is what your ghost will look like at the end of round 19. It's basically the same as before. We are just working on closing it up on the bottom here. You can add more stuffing if you'd like, because this is the last round of this pattern. So when you're good to go, let's go on to round 20, the final round, and we are just going to be doing 6 decreases around. All right. So this is what it's looking like. We can go ahead and take the stitch marker off because this was the last round, and then go ahead and leave around a 6-inch tail and fasten off. Pull the string through. All right, oh my gosh. Look at our little pumpkin ghost, so cute. And then for the last step, we want to close up this hole. So go ahead and take your needle, thread it through the tail. And what we're gonna do is sew through the front loops of this last round. So 1. It doesn't have to be perfect too. If you miss a few stitches, it's fine, but you should put it through 6 stitches if you wanna get all of them. And then once you thread it all through, we're gonna go ahead and pull it tight to close up that hole. And there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and then weave the tail throughout the bottom just to make sure it's secure and won't come out. So once you weave it through a few times and you feel good about it, you can go ahead and take your scissors, cut the excess, and then I just like to take a thicker needle and poke the tail through so it will not be coming out. And this is what the bottom of your little ghostie will look like. And then here is the top. And there you go, friends. You have your very own no-sew mini ghost, perfect for Halloween. All right, friends, that is the tutorial. How quick and easy was that pattern? Literally, I'm obsessed with my little pumpkin pie ghost. Like, it literally is giving off pumpkin pie vibes. I kind of want to add some like whipped cream up here. And oh my gosh, what if I remake this ghost but make the little frills like brown so it literally is like a pumpkin pie ghost? How cute is that? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial. I can't wait to see all of your little ghosties. Make sure to tag me on Instagram at Crochet by Jenna. I also wanted to show you guys the white version of these ghosties. I made these two previously, and these are made out of Bernat velvet yarn. So they're a little smaller than the one I just made out of the Baby Snuggle. But how cute are they? Also, I wanted to say, if you don't want to add the arms and you want a ghost that's just plain like this little guy, all you have to do is for round 11, do 30 single crochet a round. Do not do the bobble, and then just follow the pattern and you will come out with a ghost that looks like this. Armless ghost. Also, just for funsies, I think I want to make some keychains, so let's make some keychains together. Guys, the keychain is done and I love her so much. The vision really came to life. I'm screaming, I'm crying, I'm throwing up. Let me show you guys. Here she is. Look at the little ghostie. Oh my gosh, guys. She was seriously so fun to make. And like, look at her little like frills at the bottom. I cannot like, and like the little bobble stitches for arms. I'm so happy I switched over this pattern to no sew because sewing the little tiny arms would have been like such a pain. So yeah, I love keychain version. So small, so mini, and I think it is literally the perfect size. So 3mm hook, acrylic yarn. So cute. And then just for size comparison, here you go. Here's pumpkin pie ghost, and here is keychain ghost. And then the more I look at this ghost, the more I'm thinking it's like a sweet potato, so I'm gonna call it sweet potato ghost going forward. So cute. But all right, I think we're gonna call the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and then also seeing me recreate the ghost in keychain form. Thank you guys so much for all of the love and support always, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Catch you guys in my next video. Bye.